So Brad, tell us a little bit about yourself and this area here as far as fly fishing. You're relatively new to the sport, right?
Correct. So basically, June last year, I was pretty stressed out with some job stuff, kind of overloaded work schedule. I thought I'd go out and fish, and picked up some worms at Walmart and a license, and had an old ugly stick. Went out within about a month. Matt, who you'll see later on, that's meeting up with us today, starts telling me how fly fishing is, and you know, these guys do this and they make flies and they tie all this, and at the time he just thought it was kind of a hassle. Well, I was like intrigued by it. So the next day I literally went to the local Orvis shop that we have on the river, and spent about $1,000 in gear, and I've never looked back. And you know, here we are. So basically, I live about a half an hour from here. We're kind of tucked out in western Maryland. There's a small town close by. It's all based out of like, they do like paper mill, like they make paper and things like that. But it's pretty nice. People travel into the tributaries in the Savage River pretty frequently. Where we're going in a little bit is fly fish only, and it's nice here because there's a 0 creel limit. As far as the fishing, yeah, we just kind of come out. It's a little quick trek in, and you know, I believe for the wild brown population that was originally stocked, I think, don't quote me on this, some of you may know, but it was like the late 80s, early 90s. They were putting in wild browns. Well, they've started to reproduce, and ever since then it's been natural. So it's a pretty well protected area, and I mean, you'll see in the video, it's one of the most beautiful places I've ever fished.
So can we take a look at what you're using today there? What
Yep.
what kind of fly rod do you have
So
there?
I'm using the good old Orvis Superfine Carbon. It's a 3-weight 7.6. I was talking to my friend Matt earlier. He said that the Yellow Sallies were one of the things on the hatch chart, and then I'm doing a dry dropper to a Prince Nymph, which seems like they really like those here on these waters. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, well, looking forward to it. Let me show you guys what I'm using here real quick too. All right, guys, so I have my wild trout set up here. This is my 8-foot 4-weight G Loomis with the hatch on there, and I'm going to be starting out fishing dry flies today. This is a size 16 tan CDC caddis bug, and we're going to try that. I love fishing CDC, and I have a lot of CDC caddis, and I'm just going to start out with that. I like the way CDC floats in water, how buoyant it is. So we'll start there. That's tied on with 5X fluorocarbon tippet, and it's the only fly I have on. And that's on a 9-foot 5X leader. And we're gonna start down here and work our way upstream, up here to where Brad was just fishing here, and fishing some of these deeper pools with the dry flies and see what we can do.
Already. First cast.
That's a beautiful brook trout. Guys, that's my first Savage River tributary brook trout. Just a real beauty. You know, that dry fly hadn't even hit the water for a second and that fish was on it. Just a beautiful, beautiful trout. I guarantee you it's brook trout. Frankie, I like your nymph. You should send me more of them.
I saw him run downstream afterwards.
Probably a crane fly.
There we go. There's a stone. There's a stone fly. Those are like size 12.
Is that a stone fly?
That's a stone fly right there.
Yeah.
These that just went by were nymphs. And I'm not going to act like I'm an insect expert here, but that I'm sure is a stone. See the split tail?
Yeah, I see it.
So that's a stone. See if there's some really nice green caddis in here sometimes that you can see. I think those are just little midges, if I'm not mistaken. Man, one time I was here and I picked one up and I saw there you go, the brightest green. That's a stone fly right there. So that's what your trout are nom nomming on. And actually, I have a few stoneflies that size that work really well. So, anyway,
Cool. Nice.
I don't know if he's still on there.
Good job.
Yep. Beautiful.
Wow. And that was on that
On the Adams, yep.
That's one you tie, right?
Yes.
Nice work.
Thanks. There we go. See you, beautiful. All right, now it's your shot. So we've been hitting this hole with a nymph and we haven't had any luck, so in honor of Mike, we're gonna try woolly bugger just to see if they'll go after it. I think there's some down deep. I was gonna tell you a funny story, by the way. See how that's banked real slick, like right there? So over winter, I was here nymphing. It was like one of those days where it was snowing out. And towards the top there, I slid and I started to go down in. Now this is like up at least another 5 feet. So as I'm sliding down the bank, I know my impending doom is happening. I literally go in ice cold water up over my waders. And so
man, that must have been awful.
I drove home cold and wet.
Oh.
And so every time I come here, it's gonna remind me of that instance.
Yeah. Can you show us that woolly bugger?
Yeah. So what I did, I always run because we're going pretty deep. I'm gonna run too small, and then it's just got a little bit of like flash in the back.
Yep.
It's your standard gold beadhead woolly bugger. It's not weighted or anything, so.
All right, let's see what you can do.
Knows, man. Oh! Ho, ho!
Nice.
Go, man.
You totally called that.
I called it.
Nice work.
Woolly bugged on woolly bug.
Nice work, Brad.
Thanks, man.
There we go.
Oh, yeah. Awesome. There we go. The white bugger is slaying, man. Man, that's a good sized one, too.
Beautiful fish. Nice.
Right, Mike? What do you think about that white bugger?
Woolly bugged in the house. All right, guys, we're back out here this afternoon on the same Savage River trib that we were fishing this morning, Brad and I. And now I got Matt with me. This is Matt Willison. I also met Matt on Instagram, and he and Brad fish a lot together. They're good buddies, so he's gonna join me and Brad this afternoon, and we're gonna explore some new water on this same trib. It's a long body of water to explore. And Matt, welcome to Woolly Bug.
Thanks.
Is there anything you wanted to tell us about this body of water or about brookie fishing in this area in general?
Normally it's pretty good. The flow is definitely down lower, but we'll see what happens.
How long have you been fly fishing for?
Since December, so this is my first year.
So Matt's a relatively new fly fisherman, but that's what's awesome. You know, new guys joining the sport, that's what it's all about. And you love fly fishing, right?
I do.
He loves it. All right, Matt, so let's talk a little bit about your fly rod here. Can you show us what you have there? Because I thought that was an interesting looking rod.
Yeah, so this is basically the cheapest rod that I own, but I did that for a reason. I like to bring this in areas like this to where I don't really have to worry about it breaking. It's an Eagle Claw fiberglass 7'6" 3-weight paired with a Reddington Drift 3.4. I think I might have $100 in the combo, and it's just great bang for the buck for these little tribs.
That's awesome. That's cool when you can spend a little amount of money, you get something that's still gonna net you some fish. What are you using for a dry fly today?
So I'm gonna try this sulfur pattern. I've had pretty good luck on it so far.
Okay.
Doesn't seem to be any hatch going on right now, but we'll see.
Okay, well, Matt's gonna get over here and start throwing some dry flies here on the pools, and we'll see what we can do.
All right.
I'll be curious to see if there's anything laying by that log out there. That's a good lie. All right, guys, Woolly Bug's calling it a wrap for this weekend. I'll tell you what, we had a tough afternoon of fishing. We went back up and we fished this brookie trib, and we had a couple hits, but it was kind of slow. I don't know if the warm temps just had the fish hiding out. I mean, the water was cool enough to be fishing, but it was just tough. We tried fishing another trib. What was the name of that trib we tried fishing? The one that had the low water?
Poplar Lick.
We tried fishing Poplar Lick, which a lot of the brookie enthusiasts will know that name from this area. And it was too low to even fish. You couldn't fish it. And then we came down on the lower Savage where there's wild brown trout. And those fish are just really tough. I mean, the lower Savage is some of the most technical water I've personally ever fished. Now, granted, it's the summer, so it's not what I would say is prime time to be catching fish here, but it's tough. Is that your guys' experience, that the Savage is just a tough stream?
Put it this way, it took me 10 months to catch my first brown here.
Yeah.
Then I caught probably 5 times in a row, and the last 2 times being July, it's been brutal.
Yeah.
Like just skunk city. But
yeah.
Hey, maybe you guys have some tips for summertime fishing.
Yeah,
You know,
tips for
let us
summertime
know.
fishing on the Savage. Because I'll tell you what, if you want to challenge yourself, come fish the Savage River in the summer. Come fish it anytime. I think it's just a challenging stream.
Yeah.
How about you? Is that your experience too, Matt?
Yeah, Lower Savage has been pretty demoralizing for me, but still continue to come back for some reason.
Yeah.
We keep limping, we keep running in and limping out, don't we, Matt?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but it's a good stream. I mean, if you hit it on, I mean, there's been days I've seen you photo after photo of browns, and I'd say it's one of the most beautiful streams I've ever seen. I mean, being out west and everywhere. I mean,
water's always cold.
It's just a great stream, and if any of you guys can get out here, you know, come out and fish it, because it's worth it. It's a really neat pocket watery type of fishery. And, it's I said it's my favorite stream local. So
Yep. We saw a lot of stonefly husks, so you know, I've heard stoneflies are good on this water. The guy who owns the fly shop here, Mike, which is actually a place you can park here to access the water, right?
So yeah, generally, if he wants to keep if you guys come out to It's a Savage River Outfitters. If you come out, I think he has it posted, but you can come in, stop, get some flies, get some things you need. If you talk to Mike, he usually lets you park somewhere around the shop. He just wants the right side of the lot usually like cleared off.
Yeah,
but
for
you
business.
can, yeah, come out and I mean, there's pull-offs the whole way up and down the river, so it's
right.
usually pretty
Easy access.
yeah, I wouldn't say it's too bad.
Yeah. All right, guys. So we're calling it quits here. Appreciate you guys watching Woolly Bugged, and we'll catch up with you next weekend. See ya.